was letting the cat out of the bag a little bit. I was just trying to do anything that I could to make the situation better. Which, I don't know what's going on in his head. I don't think he's an evil person. I don't think he was like, I'm going to take the TI community, for all that they're worth. He did get some help from the TI community. I just think that, he's a TI who was in a desperate situation, and he thought that bad idea to me, maybe creative idea in his head, but to me, you fib or you make up a huge story like that, and it's only going to damage the community. But in his head, it was a good idea. It was something that could maybe help him and help the community. I guess that's all I want to say about that. I just want to say I do think he's a TI. There's some other stuff involved, but I'm not going to get into that. But we really need to be very discerning, and I don't think that we can see his story as credible. If he wants to come in and kind of be like, hey, I made up that story, but I'm a TI and this and this and this, I would maybe reconsider. But it's hard when somebody, I guess the little boy who cried wolf, when they come in crying wolf and then they want to tell you some kind of truth, it's going to be hard. It's too serious. Y'all, that's my opinions on it, and y'all kind of make up your opinions on it. I felt like I needed to talk about it, though, because the information he came out was so just bombshell information. He's an insider. He knows about this stuff. He was privy to, these corrupt actions of SIS, on the inside of it. So it's important that if something happens, that we talk about it. If he was a regular TI who maybe fibbed or something like that about, I don't know, just about little stuff, I don't know if I would be making, if I'd be talking about it on a video. But anyway, I kind of want to get past that, myself and on this video, because it really did, it hurt me, because it was very hopeful for me. A lot of TIs when he came out, some older TIs or TIs that have been hit longer than me, they were like, I just don't believe him. He sounds kind of like he's making it up. And I said, no, it goes along with my research that, security companies and, third-party contractors, my main, what I've learned is that it's third-party contractors, and they get ex-military people to carry out this stuff. But it's not outside the realm. Listening to John Hall, who says security companies are involved, and, that can easily play into it. From what I've learned in my situation, it's third-party contractors that are getting defense contracts, from the DOD, and then away it goes from there. But I don't know every situation in security. Security firms could definitely be involved with the surveillance, could definitely be involved with the electronic equipment, with the directed energy weapon systems. I don't know the full scope and how it all works and how the pyramid is structured and compartmentalized. I don't think any of us know all the pieces. I think even the people shooting me with microwaves right now really don't know the whole scope of what they're doing. They know that they're working for a third-party contractor, that I'm a contract, that they're, playing around with this equipment and hurting me and doing the protocol, but I don't think they know about, what are all the other third-party contractors, or they're, what other security firms, like what's the, where's all this information going to? I think that even the people carrying this stuff out, they don't have the big picture, definitely. Anyway, okay, so rambling on, went about 20 minutes. I guess I kind of want it to go about 45 minutes or an hour and just feel like I'm fighting this. Oh yeah, I did, I've been getting noise harassment, campaigns from the guy who lives next to me, and, man, I put tape on the camera up there, and so it's getting a reflection. Like I tried to wipe it off. There's that fire. There's the fire trucks again. I wonder if there's a fire at the movie theater. I'll always, like, if I see, like, you know, fire chiefs or anything, I get not paranoid, but I'm conditionally like, are they, you know, are they patrolling me? Are they just are they GPSing around me? But then I try and kind of shake it off and just be like, there must be a fire somewhere, unless it's like something real obvious, like a cop crossing at a light, or, you know, one light sheriff car or something like that, or you know, somebody pulling up, you know, behind me. But that's, I mean, that's the nature of this program. But I wanted to talk about, you know, my neighbor is doing noise harassment. Somebody came and talked to him and told him to harass me. I don't think he has any weapons in there or anything. But, you know, I think I told y'all this in another video. You know, he was, like, I'll go into the bathroom, and even when I'm, like, using the bathroom, he'll shake the toilet, he'll bang on the walls, he'll, you know, run the water right when I'm in there. Weird stuff that all put together is 100%. And there's a one light SUV right there. I don't know if I got it. Another one light. No, that's not a one light. So you know, he's doing this to me, and my attackers, the people who are hitting me with directed energy weapon, like really hard while I'm asleep. You know, they got me to a point where my nervous system felt fried. I was agitated. And then this guy, you know, it seems like it really goes along with the torture. Whenever they get you, and this is a, you know, I think this is a protocol. Whenever they think that they're hurting you the worst, they start harassing you more, you know. And even when they're not hurting you a lot, they start harassing you more, because they want to get your, you know, your emotions, you know, kind of going everywhere. So it's really kind of just like, you know, they harass you a lot, you know, whatever is going on. But anyway, he was pumping up the harassment on his wall, you know, making a lot of noise. And so, you know, I got the bright idea to just, you know, bang on the wall and say, you know, I'm an innocent American, stop harassing me. And I thought that maybe because he didn't know what was going on, like he doesn't, you know about these weapons or anything, that he would kind of just back off. Like he'd just kind of back off. You know, maybe he thought that I was like guilty of some kind of crime or something like that. But if I just, you know, banged on the wall and said, stop harassing me, that he would, you know, leave me alone. Be careful with that, guys, because I think a lot of these people, they're skeevy, lying snakes, and they don't care what's going on. They're just trying to make their money or do what they're told by authorities, and they don't care who you are. They're just going to harass you. And what happened is, you know, I banged on the wall and yelled at him, and so he told my maintenance guy, and my maintenance guy called my mom. And so they really discredited me with my parents, like, because I've getting, you know, the Cuban embassy attack came out. My parents are starting to listen to me more, and now they're very upset, and they're worried that I'm going to get kicked out of the condo complex because this guy was harassing me and I reacted to it. So, you know, one TI gave me some good advice. You know, go over and talk to him and say, I feel harassed. Don't accuse him of anything. And then maybe start a dialogue like that. My dad said, just drop it. You know, my dad said, just drop it. Just don't even react to it. You know, my mom kind of, you know, she was like, you're smarter than these people. Don't play into what they want you to do. So my parents, my parents know that something's going on. You know, they've seen the Cuban embassy attack. They know about all the activism doing. They don't know how serious it is. They don't know how deep it goes with the remote neural monitoring and the, you know, how evil this stuff is and how invasive in our society it is. But they do know that something's going on. But they still get disappointed, you know, when I'm trying to kind of fight back and get people off of me, because they don't understand how awful the torture is, and that people who don't know shit about anything are coming up and messing with you, you know, and trying to get into your life and stuff like that. But they do know that I mean, I think they realize, you know, I'm not a liar. Like, my whole life has been about telling the truth and, you know, not being crazy. So they really, you know, they've started to be like, you know, I was talking to my dad and I was like, man, this stuff is, I can't take, my body can't take it, I'm tired. And he was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, I know it's hard to believe. And he's like, no. He's like, I believe you. You know, he's like, the world is getting pretty evil. And there's technology that I don't know, you know, So I don't know. It's kind of half and half with my parents. They know something's going on. They don't know how serious it is. So they kind of give me advice that's like, don't mess with other people, and don't play into what these people want you to play in. I think they think it's a little bit easier than it really is, but they still love me and help me. Boy, I'm really just going all over the place tonight. There was something else that I wanted to talk about too. What was it? I don't really know. I don't remember. Maybe if I take a drink of my energy drink, which is sugary, so TIs, we shouldn't drink sugar. I sometimes do. I'll have like an energy drink now and then. Oh yeah. I'm going right now to get rechargeable batteries, because I left. It's weird because they mess with my rechargeable batteries even with directed energy weapons. When I'm there, when I'm in the condo, they'll hit them and heat them up, with directed energy weapons. But it seems like I have two sets, two sets of two. So I have 4 in total, and one set is burnt out to where it will not charge anymore, and they're just dead. And then the other set, I still put into the recharger, and they still heat them up, and it kind of screws up the charging a little bit. Like, it'll take them longer to charge, but they'll still charge. So what I think happened is, I'll usually leave the condo, and there's a one light white car. I forgot. I've been out for a while. Went shopping and everything. I went grocery shopping. But the deal is, like, one set is is charging. They can still kind of hit it and mess it up. One set's just gone. One set, the 2 batteries, I can't charge them anymore. I put them in the rechargeable thing, and it flashes. It's like a flashing red light. And my protocol. Here's my little protocol. I was being targeted. When I leave the place, I put anything that they can, like, poison or anything they can mess with, like with my electronics. I put it in a book sack. But I didn't mess with those batteries. I would leave I'd leave 2 batteries in the recharger, in the charger, charging when I left. And so I think that when they came in, they did something physically to the batteries to make them dead, to kill the batteries. And then so I'm trying to charge them, and they're trying to make me believe that they did that with actual directed energy. But usually they can only just kind of mess them up to where it takes longer to charge them. So I'm going to go get some more batteries. I'm going to keep on that theory, and just now I've started taking the rechargeable batteries with me too. It's like every time they mess with something, I have to, add something more to my book sack to take with me when I leave the apartment. It is ridiculous. I mean, it is ridiculous, but it's really necessary. This is just what they do. They harass, they, mess up electronic equipment. They stay on you, and the guy next door doing the sound campaign or the noise campaign. I've watched it in this microcosm of dealing with my parents, and it's definitely the gang stalking and stuff. I think DHS Fusion Centers and InfraGard have their own little agendas and their own little compartmentalized, we're going to patrol and, get this surveillance network of kind of informants and stuff like that, and be able to track anybody anywhere. I think that is a definite angle. But, when you're talking about this directed energy weapon technology, and how they're researching and developing mind direction technologies, remote neural monitoring, remote neural manipulation, these very, very out there technologies. The gang stalking for that is to really discredit the victim. And Brian too talks about it a lot, and I guess we all talk about it a lot. I talk about it a lot. It's really, I've watched it. I watched this guy do that, and I watched me just bang on the wall once to get him the fuck off of me, and it ended up being, very discrediting. You know, to where people are like, oh, well, you think that, you know, everybody around you's doing something. So it really works. I mean, that really works. This gang stalking, the vehicular stalking, and all